Good morning. This is Cindy with Life and Yarn Tangled, and today I want to do a tutorial on this beautiful scarf that I designed for my mother. This is the Comfy Skinny Scarf. It's very easy, beginner friendly. It's a 4-row repeat. So shall we do this? Shall we get started? Before we do, I'd like to say welcome to all the new viewers. If you like what you see, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and then hit that notification bell so you'll get all future videos that I will be putting out. And to my current subscribers, I just thank you so much for supporting me and helping me go along this journey and progress and grow. So without further ado, the yarn that I used for this pattern is the Caron Latte cakes. The colorway was BlackBerry. It says it's a bulky 5, but that's just because of the fuzz on it, and there's not a ton, so I would only classify it as a 4, so I would recommend a 4 weight. You can use any weight of yarn for this scarf. That's totally up to you on how big or small you want the scarf. This does recommend a 6.5mm hook. I am only using a 6. I am a tight crocheter naturally, so I kind of like my stuff a little tighter. This is wash and dryable. It's 58% acrylic and 42% nylon. And there's 530 yards in a cake. And this is how much I used of the cake. I mean, I don't even think I used half the cake. So, alright, let's get started. I am going to be using Hobby Lobby's I Love This Cotton. It is a 4 weight, machine washable, dryable as well. To see the stitches on that latte cake isn't really great for tutorials, so that's why I'm going to use this. So first we're going to start out with our knot, slip knot. So wrap your yarn around your fingers, wrap it around again, crisscrossing it. Take the top one, push it through, and then pull. That's all there is to it. We're going to shrink it down. You don't want to go too far until you get your hook in. The hook I'm using is a 6mm J hook. And let's see, let's get this in. Alright, now you want to chain an even number. It has to be divisible by 2. Okay, so to chain, have your hook through this first loop. You're going to yarn over and pull through. That is chain 1. Yarn over, pull through, chain 2. Yarn over, pull through, that's chain 3. Now my written pattern calls for 20 stitches. That will make your scarf 5 inches wide, and then the length in the pattern is 76 inches. You can make it as long or as short, as wide and as thin as you want. Alright, so let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to only do 12 today, since I've already made the full size pattern that I was going to do with 20 stitches. Alright, so for this you're going to yarn over, and we're going to go through the 3rd chain. This chain on this loop here on your hook does not count. So here's chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. You're going to go through chain 3. So yarn over, go in through that loop, yarn over, pull through. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. It's your first half, actually it's your second. This little loop here, this will count as a stitch. Okay, so let me readjust my yarn again. Yarn over, go through the next chain, yarn over, pull through. That's your next half double crochet. You're going to do this all the way down to the end of the row. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all three. I'm going to speed up a little bit so I can get to the end of my chain. Go ahead and pause the video until you reach the end of your chain and then restart it, and we will go from there. Now we're going to be doing the base 4 rows, and then your repeat will start at row 5. Okay, so here's, let's see, we're in row 1. Get these done here. Alright, I only have 2 stitches left. Finish those off. Alright, last one. Okay, so now from here, you should have an odd number of stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then this right here will be my 11th stitch. Okay, all right, I've got 2 stitches left. 1 and 2, and I should have an odd number. I should have 11 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My 11th is this corner right here. Remember I said those 2 counted as a stitch. All right, so we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, turn your work. That chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So now we're going to do what's called a half double front stitch. Instead of going through the top like you normally would, here's your front loop, here's your back loop, we're going to use this front V here instead of the top V. Okay, so what you'll do is you'll yarn over, you're going to go under this first loop here, and you're going to go under the front loop. You're going to go right smack between in the middle of that V on top. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, we're going to do that again. Yarn over, go under this front edge here. We're going to do that front V again, under the front, under the front loop, right between the front and back loop, that top V. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're going to repeat that all the way down the row. Okay, it's a very easy stitch. Yarn over, go under, go through the top V, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, I will meet you at the end of the row. Go ahead and pause the video so you can finish your row out. Okay, I'm near the end of my row. I have 3 stitches left. 1. Oh, yeah, that's right. Huh? I'm thinking in half double crochets, so I tend to do that. Let me make sure I went through between. Now my last loop here on the end, it's kind of hard to see a front V, so I usually don't worry about this one here at the very bottom. We're just doing our setup row anyway, so I just yarn over and I try to just go through wherever I can. And here's Pixie, my cat. She's coming to help. Come on, go through. And we're going to get a kitty cat butt. There we go. Come on, yarn over, pull through. And I lost my yarn. There we go. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. All right. Next, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to flip my work over. What that stitch does is it creates this beautiful ridge down the entire row. Oh, see that stitch? I went through all 3 loops instead of just the 2. And that stitch will stand out very easily. It's one of those stitches that people can pick out because it just breaks your ridge. So what you do is you just gently frog back to where that is, turn your work back around, and then redo that stitch, but making sure you only go through, the top V instead of through all 3. And got my double crochet. Now I got to refinish my row out. This pattern goes pretty quick. And doesn't really take a lot of yarn. I'm going to venture to say maybe 150, 200 yards. Well, and it depends on the width and length that you go as well. I mean, for what I did on my pattern, the written pattern, 150, 200 yards. It's not a lot. All right, last one. I really need to go through 2 loops here. Let's see if I can go through this one. There we go. All right, my last stitch. So I should have 11 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How come I now end up with 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I had to have missed a stitch. That's the, oh, I didn't do this last stitch. I knew I was missing a stitch, I just didn't figure out where it's coming from. It's this very last stitch that's hard to get through. If I can go through right there, that would be perfect. There we go. I missed my final stitch. See, even us creators can have issues with, come on, tighten down. My loop's too big. Anyways, even us creators can make mistakes. We lose count, we recount. Sometimes it takes us a minute to figure out where we messed up. Get my double crochet in. All right, there's my 11th stitch. I'm going to flip it back around here so you can see I have now fixed that. I've got a full ridge all the way across. All right, let me turn back around here. Now we're going to chain 2. Turn your work. That chain 2 does not count. Yarn over, go through this very first loop right here. Yarn over. We're going to do a double crochet, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Now you're going to chain 1, skip 1, and then do another double crochet. Okay, there's our first window. Then you're going to chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next one. You're going to repeat this all the way down the row. Chain 1, skip 1. This is row 3. I have the yarn caught in my fingers there. Let's see, chain 1, yarn over, skip 1, next one. Chain 1, skip 1, and then you're going to finish off on your last stitch right there. And double crochet. That is row 3. Got your windows. Okay. You're going to chain 2 again, and we're going to repeat row 3 in row 4. Okay. So again, these 2 chains don't count as a stitch. So you're going to yarn over and you're going to go through right here, the very first one. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Chain 1, yarn over. You're going to go in right at the top of that double crochet. Yarn over, pull through. Whoop, lost my stitch. Tighten it down here. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Oops. All right. Here's another one of those mistakes. If I can get that to come out there. There we go. There we go. Look at the size of that loop. I didn't get it tight enough, so I'm just going to pull out all the way. Tighten that down again. I'm going to yarn over, go back through. I'm going to make sure that all the loops are tight. And voila. Chain 1, go in the top of the next double crochet, and we're going to repeat this all the way down the row. Chain 1, go in the top of the next double crochet, chain 1. I'm just going to finish this out since I've only got, after this one more. Chain 1, skip. We're going to go in right here in the last stitch. All right, our repeat starts in the next row. It's essentially these same 4 rows that we just did, but it's a little different when you're coming off these windows to start your 4-row repeat. So now you're going to chain 1 and you're going to turn. That chain 1 does not count. I don't know why I'm having yarn issues this morning, but I am. All right, you're going to yarn over. You're going to go through this very first stitch right here. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through all 3. First half double crochet. Next one, you're going to yarn over. You're going to go through the window. Yarn over and pull back through. Yarn over, go through all 3. Okay, let's do it again. Yarn over, go right in the top of that double, yarn over, pull through all 3. One more, yarn over, go through the window, yarn over, pull through all 3. You're going to repeat this all the way down to the end of the row. One more time, yarn over, go through the top of the double crochet, yarn over, pull through all 3, yarn over, go through the window, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. We'll finish this out to the end of the row. Let me grab some more yarn. My yarn's coming apart. I'm going to have yarn barf here if I'm not careful. All right. Yarn over, go through. There we go. Yarn over, go through all 3. Yarn over, go through your window. And the last 2 stitches. And this is why you need the odd numbers, because you've got to be able to end on a double crochet for your windows. All right, there you have it. Okay, so then you repeat. So you'll do this row. It's a repeat of the very first row we did down here, that half double crochets, except for you're only going in the windows. Then you're going to do your double crochets, side stitch, and then you'll do your windows. And that's all there is to it. You just keep on going. Now if you notice, this kind of caves in a little bit here. Let's do another round of 4. So we're going to chain 2, does not count. Going to yarn over, go through the side, maybe go through the side, and then go between those 2. Yep. So we're going to repeat one more round of 4. So you're going to repeat rows 5 through 8. So do all of our double crochets through the side stitch here. And if you're still having a hard time doing the stitch, I do have a tutorial on how to do this stitch. It's a really easy stitch to do. And I follow along with my finger. So as I come through, I can feel it go between those the top V. That's just a little tip to make sure you're in the right place. And when you're doing this stitch, especially on a bigger project, like if you're going in a big project, check every 15, 20 stitches. Just kind of flip your work and take a quick look to see if you've gone through all 3. It's easier and saves time to go back and look and fix it than it is to get clear to the end of the row of, say, 120 stitches, and you find your 4th stitch in, you've gone through all 3, and now you have to frog 112 stitches, which means you have to redo all that work you did, and you don't want to do that. So just check your work periodically to make sure you haven't gone through all 3. This is short enough. I'll just go to the end of the row and check, because it doesn't take that long to do. Last 2. Did I make it through that one? Okay, yep. That one felt a little funny. And the last one. There we go. we got those done. Now we're going to do the windows again. So you're going to chain, oh, let me flip my work to make sure. Okay, I got a ridge, no mistakes. Flip her back around. Chain 2. Flip your work. Yarn over. Go through the very first stitch here and do your double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, your next double crochet in the next stitch. And then you're going to chain 1 again, skip 1, your next double crochet, all the way to the end. It goes pretty quick, this pattern. Chain 1. I occasionally forget to chain 1, skip 1, I gotta pull some more yarn here. Without losing the yarn ball. Alright. You guys have probably gotten to the end now, so I'm gonna catch up with you guys real quick. Chain 1, skip 1. All right, I got one more chain 1 to do, skip 1, and I'm at the end. Okay, so now we're going to chain 2. Now if you find you end up with a chain 1 but you don't have that last stitch, somewhere your count is off and you'll need to go back and figure out where you skipped a stitch, or you stuck 2 stitches in the same spot, or you forgot to, like you did a double crochet next to double crochet, so you're off. You'll just have to go back and figure out where it's off at. Chain 2, flip your work. Again, that chain 2 does not count. Yarn over, go through the very first stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go through your first double crochet, chain 1, and you're going to skip this window space and you're going to go on the top of the double crochet. Looks like I did 2 chains in that one, but I didn't. How to do a double take. Chain 1, skip the window, the chain here, go on the top of your double crochet. Chain 1, skip, do a double crochet, last one, chain 1, yarn over, go through, here is that, right there, okay. Sometimes it's hard to see, as you can see my chain kind of shrunk there in the middle. And that is the repeat right there. 5 through 8 is your repeat. Now you notice this kind of sunk in here. This one did not. You know what I did? I skipped a chain right here. I did my double crochet. See what I did? I did it here, but not here. So I'm off by my windows. That's what I'm talking about. If you're off, I ended right, but I completely skipped here. I would frog it. Normally I would frog it and go back and fix it. But for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to end here. Now, once you get to the length you want, the weight of it may pull this enough that it stretches and you don't have that indent and you don't need a border. Or it doesn't. You don't like the edging. You can put any border you wish on it. If you're using the latte cakes, you don't need a border. The fur, it's furry enough you don't notice the edging at all. But for when you're using yarn like this, you can notice the edges. So I just stay where I'm at right here. And I'm going to turn, I'm going to go through here. Whoop, I forgot to yarn over. I'm going to do a half double crochet. You can do what you want. Yarn over. And for every double crochet, I'm going to do 2 half doubles. And that's a double crochet right here. So I'm going to slide it up a little bit, and I'm going to do another one. Just like that. I'm going to skip this space right here. I'm going to go into the next window. And I'm going to put 2 in there. Now, depending on what border you're doing, on what it's going to look like and how it's going to fix, you know, straighten out your edges. As you can see, I'm slowly going along and it's starting to straighten it out a little bit. And it'll straighten more as I go. This side's fairly straight. For some reason, one side's always straighter than the other. I haven't figured out why yet, but this side tends to be straighter. So you don't necessarily need a border, but see, just by doing this little bit, look at that. It kind of pulled it out just enough. And you can always block a little bit too. Kind of pull it and block it if you wanted. You don't have to do that. I recommend a border. I like the half double crochet just because it's part of the pattern anyway. And you just go all the way around your scarf. And that is the comfy skinny scarf. I'm going to set that down there. Don't forget to tuck your ends in when you get to the end of your scarf. I thank you for watching my tutorial. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. And leave me a comment of what you think of my scarf. And if there's any content that you would like to see that I have not done yet, I would greatly appreciate it. Keep in mind, I am new to doing tutorials on camera. So I am going to make mistakes. It's going to take me time to do things a little bit better. I will be learning as I go. So, but I also want to show I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes. So anyway, you all have a fantastic day, and thank you for watching my video.